Okay, so let's start back on video number 2. The FICA, which stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act, these are two different taxes. Now, you as the employee have to pay both of them. One is for Medicare, one is for Social Security. And if you are an employer, you also have to match this. So no matter what, these taxes will come out of your paycheck regardless. Okay, so HI is considered for Medicare and OASDI is considered Social Security, and these will fund your actual accounts. So no matter what, you will be paying these two taxes. And we'll talk about it more in Chapter 3. Next is income tax laws. So there's federal and state and local. So federal income, everybody has to have it withheld from their check. If not, you file an exempt, so no taxes are withheld from your check. And you use two different types, percentage formula or wage bracket, basically how to calculate the tax being withheld. So no matter what, federal income tax will be withheld from your check unless you actually file an exemption, and that's a whole nother topic. State and local is the same thing, except each state is different because each state has different taxes. There are some states that have no income tax at all. So this is called FIT and SIT. Next, we're going to look at the unemployment tax. Okay, the unemployment is federal and state. Everything is federal and state here. So FUTA is the federal unemployment and SUTA is the state. Now, first of all, I said that you as the employer will be paying the unemployment tax. The employee does not pay any of this tax. And I just want to make a note that most states pay out of SUTA, which is the state. So when unemployment's paid out in California, it's paid out of the state. If that state does not have an actual state unemployment, then it's paid out of the federal. Okay? So when last year's pandemic, where unemployment was extended, the federal pitched in and gave money to the state to pay for the extra amounts. We're going to cover this more in Chapter 5. So FUTA and SUTA, employer pays. Hey, I got a little quiz for you on the next one. According to the FLSA, what's the minimum wage rate? Well, hopefully you picked answer B because it is $7.25. So we're now going to go into some of the fair employment laws. And I'm not going to cover everything. There will be times I will skip slides. So the first one is the Title VII Civil Rights Act of 1964. It's also called the EEO. Prohibits discrimination against all of these things. Sexual harassment is also prohibited. And it applies to employers who it's certain types of employers that it actually applies to. So this is an actual employment law that if you're going to be an HR person, you need to know about these things. Okay, again, I'm not going to go over them. One more, and then we're going to move on to the next slides, or actually 2 more slides. Age discrimination, you cannot. This is set in place to protect workers over 40 years old, and so basically you cannot be discriminated against based upon your age, which is nice to know for me. Okay. Then there's the ADA, which is the Americans Disabilities Act. Again, I'm not going to read all of this, but this ends video number 2 for Chapter 1. And when we start back on video 3, we'll be talking about other types of acts that you should know about.